Okay. Be right back. Be right back. Yeah. Can you guys hear me? Can you guys hear me? Can you guys hear me? Yes. Okay. Good. Thank you. All right, everybody. Had some minor glitches there. Welcome in. Welcome in. Oleg. Looking forward to this one. Like number 4. Awesome. Carol. Hello, everyone. Barney. Hey, Oleg and Carol. Good to have you. Carol, hello. Barney, I'm going to make something to eat before we settle in. Sounds good, Barney. Norma, good morning, DD, and beautiful chat. Carol, hello. I have been deep in the vaults on this one for days, says Homelinks. Just going through everybody, make sure I didn't miss anybody in there. Carol, they're about 4 hours from where I live in Ohio. I know it's close to home, no doubt, right? Oleg, seriously, I'm thinking about what them poor children went through. Totally understand, Norma. April, hi, a few more minutes for DD. I am here, everybody. Good to have you all. April, good to see you. I'm going to have to skip out for now. I'm taking care of my granddaughters. Here we go, everybody. Let's get to it. Let's just start. AJ, welcome in. Paige, welcome in. Chris, welcome in. All right. So you all can hear me now. All right. A bit like the tin can. Okay. Let's see here if we can. How about that? Is that better? Is that better? All right, everybody. Tuesday, welcome in. Does that sound better for you guys? All right. So today, obviously, the topic, Ohio House of Horrors. I know it sounds really dramatic, but if you're one of those kids, maybe it is dramatic. Maybe, just maybe it is dramatic. Now, let me say something real quick. Holly, welcome in. The things that we cover on this channel, a lot of it, if not most of it, if not 99% of it, it's in a negative realm. In a negative realm, in the sense of the missing, the unalived. It's cases dealing with sorrow. It's cases dealing with heartache. It's cases dealing with trauma. Cases dealing with a bunch of adversities. Hello, Jeannie. What we cover on this channel, it can easily put anybody at a state of frustration, anger. It can turn your emotions one way or the other. And the reason I'm saying this is because it is news. It's news that needs to be shared, but it's also negative, very plays on the mind and the heart and the soul. So if you find yourself where you can't really like grasp it because it's getting to your emotions, by all means, just step out of the channel or just, do your thing. But understand that this is just something that we cover on this channel. Okay. And I know a lot of times we don't think about it, we take it for granted, but sometimes it does play on our conscience, on our hearts, on our emotions. And then that can play out on the screen. So if you guys get any bit where you guys are just don't want to hear, pull yourself out of the situation, because I don't have those answers how to help you in that realm. Okay, so I just want to go ahead and share that with everybody because I do believe this is something that a lot of us we can relate to because either we have kids, we had people that have gone missing, loved ones that have been unalived, etc., etc. So just wanted to get that so you guys know if you're feeling like your emotions are taking over, step right out so everything else can continue. Okay, just wanted to say that. Stash, damn, people need to be locked up as long as time for doing this. 2 kids, ridiculous and disgusting and disturbing. Very true, Stash. Very true. Hey, just Jaylene, thank you for being here. Great to have you, Annie. Great to have you. Hi, DD. Tuesday in the house. Oleg, I am too far in now to walk away from this. I totally understand, Oleg. Carol, hello, Jeannie. Hi, guys. Hope it is a good day for all. Well said. Ernie, I have been reading about those people all day. I have nothing going to say. So good to say. So you can say anything you want, Annie. That was just basically, I know it can play on a lot of our hearts and emotions in our sleeves, but if it gets too much, just pull back a little bit. Pull back a little bit. Chris, Uncle DD, that is why I am in that chat to make you giggle. That will work. I need some giggling. No doubt about it. Dog with the hearts. AJ, Paige, Jeannie, Carol, Stags. Stags and Carol. Hi, everyone. Good welcome in, Paige. All right, everybody, let's get to it. So there's been a lot said about what's going on. And rightly so. Okay, rightly so. Now, some of the things that I have been reading and hearing lately has been really, I don't know if I would call it, I guess for a better lack of words, I would say the things that I've been hearing lately is how much when they first came out and they were calling this, just like I call this the Ohio House of Horror case of 16 kids rescued in Vinton County, Ohio. Okay. I called it for a reason, not so much because I care for how it sounds, the Ohio House of Horrors. I didn't put it up there for that reason. I put it up there to let you know that sometimes people can make things exacerbated even more than what it is. It's bad enough, yet alone, these kids are someday going to grow up and they're someday going to see this on their TV, on their social medias, and etc. And think about what that feeling is on how you would react seeing you were a part of the Ohio House of Horrors. Sometimes I think they could say it a little better. I put that up there for a specific reason. Okay, so that is why it's there. But the idea that sometimes I think media can make things even look worse than it really, not that it's not, it is bad, obviously, but they can make it more exacerbated. So I wanted to point that out. All right, enough of that. Fuels in the house. Jay Stalene. There's blood all over my carpet. Paige, Fuel, Carol, AJ. So there's been a lot of talk here lately, and the talk has been about literally what they're trying to, the suspects who have been charged in this case, the attorney representing Elizabeth, okay, his name is Thomas Stolley. And he's been talking to the courts and the media and everybody who will listen to him about the questions that he's asking are that she, Elizabeth, doesn't know really what is going on. She still doesn't comprehend what is happening. She just still doesn't get why she was arrested. Okay? She still doesn't get why, what are the charges. Now, I'm not saying that she should know by now, because that's her attorney is responsible to make sure she knows what's going on in the court. But according to Stolley, he still wants to know, what is the evidence? What does the state have? Apparently, what he's saying is that they're not getting any information and they're not able to really process anything that has happened because there really isn't any discussion on the evidence, okay? In his words, we can't actually discuss evidence because we don't know what they're charging her with. And he's saying her because that's her attorney. And so I bring that up because there's talk about what really was the reason that the sheriff department went there. Was it really about Gary Sider Jr. and serving a warrant for indecent exposure 4 times, 4 straight days? Or did they know exactly what they wanted to use to get into the house to, in their eyes, rescue these kids? That remains to be seen, okay? That really remains to be seen how that's going to play out. Stacks, don't care how dull-minded they are, their asses need to stay in jail. AJ, Carol, Just Jaylene, they did Holly. They just didn't say anything. Annie, 6165 agreed. April, YouTube, Fuel. There it is. Subscribe to Fueled by Folgers and Jesus. Photon, welcome in. Holly, Jaylene, Oleg, hi Photon. Carol, hi Photon. Don't forget, also subscribe to Chris. Let's talk with Chris if you haven't already. So the idea here is that Jim, hello, welcome in, Jim, and Doug, welcome in. I think I know what happened, Double Dog. All right, you can give us the info if you like. Phone Town, Carol, Annie, Fuel. All right, I'll let you guys get all your introductions out of the way. Fuel, Double Dog, I want to schedule a live stream with you. You got it. Anytime, just either get with me whenever you can, send me an email, and or let the mods know. And usually April will go ahead and take that information. But any which way you want to do it, I'm always open. So the question is, are they getting the information? Now, everything I tell you today is just my opinion on some of these things. Do they really know? Mods, one of the mods, please post that email for Fuel. What you really need to understand is, do they understand why they are there? Okay? Do they understand? Doesn't matter if we understand it. It's got to be, do they understand it? That's how it works. Because if you don't understand why you're there, and I'm not taking any side here, I'm just saying, if you don't understand why you were arrested and you can't comprehend why, then someone's got to make it clear with the evidence why you're being charged or you're being held. Okay? You know, when you go up to the court and the judge says, do you understand these charges against you? And you go, yes. That doesn't mean they really understand. And that's what this attorney for Elizabeth is saying. He can't even get off the ground with defense because he is claiming he doesn't have a lot or the evidence on why they went there. And, you know, for all sake and purposes, he's wanting his client, this case, Elizabeth, the mother, he's wanting her to literally be OR'd on bond because she does want to see her kids. Don't ask me. That's just what's being reported. So the first thing is you got to know what you're being charged with. Okay, let's not kid ourselves. That's the main thing. If you don't know what the charges is, how in the hell are you going to defend somebody? Did her attorney look at the house, the room the children were in, no food in the refrigerator, toilet and tub filled with brown water? Told discussing, saw that on another chat. Yeah, and I was also reading that there has been a lot of posts of the inside of the house, either by leaking, individuals leaking those pictures and or also possibly AI pictures. The whole point is that they need to make sure she is competent. Okay, end of story. That's how it works. Okay, and so if they are checking to see, they are going to allow to see if she is competent or not, along with, I'm sure, all of them, because this is not something that normal human beings would actually do, living like this, treating their kids in this type of environment. But we really don't have all the information. Now, I know that may sound like I'm defending her. I'm not defending anybody. I'm just telling you what is being said. Moving right along. There is fuel. Huh, Stacks? Photon. Hi, Tushy. Barney. Oops. Mashed potatoes. Oh, my. Front Canyon. April. There's the email there. There is the email. Fuel. Just come about 5-6 down and you'll see it. April just posted it. Ole. Hi, Tushy. Doug, have you heard about Uncle Richard being in the paper in 2007 when 46-year-old Richard married a 14-year-old Tessie family friend? I didn't. I'm still working on this case. But no, I didn't hear about that. Fill us in if you like, Doug. Just Jaylene, Ohio, Stags, St. Christopher, Photon. Hi, Doug, Stags. Oleg, Doug, the family trend has gone through generations. The family trend has gone through generations. I can believe that without a doubt. Paige, Jaylene, Photon, hi Paige. Paige, Photon, AJ, we still don't know if they are drug users. That is true. That is very true, AJ. Very true. Good point. Paige, Stags, you are a saint. Doug, all 4 exposures allegedly happened at Junior's residence. We know the other girls had devices and Instagram, Snapchats, in my opinion, happened online. I did read that. Yes, that is correct. That is correct, Doug. Stacks, Saint, obviously. Stacks, that is the case. Well, the case that they're asking now is they're looking into whether there have been some maybe some, for a better lack of words, in my opinion, I'm trying to find the correct words here, but basically, was there anything nefarious happening to these kids? And you'll just have to read between the lines because of the 4 counts of indecent exposure. And like you said, the Snapchats and all the pictures and whatnot. So that is what they're looking at. And that's probably what's taking a little bit of time. They're trying to piece it all together. So yes, I did read that. Very good point. Very good point. I know what the case is about, Doug. Make no mistake. I understand what the case is about. What I'm saying is, do they understand what the case is about? Because it doesn't matter if we know it. It's, do they know it? Do they comprehend it? You know, that's the key issue right there. Field, I sent you an email, DD. You got it, Field. I'll look at here in a second. Jam, Stacks, analyze. Appears Junior was using the kids as cover to groom their friends. And yes, you're very right. Very right, Doug. That is very well said. Jim, Photon, Oleg, they are some have records in the family. That is true, Oleg, without a doubt. AJ, oh my God, Doug. Barney, be right back. Going to check on something. Jim, Just Jaylene. Just Jaylene says, why it floors me how someone said they kept the kids in that one room, but then it was said on the news that they weren't. Yeah, that's the whole point. And you got a good point there, Jaylene. On some instances, they're saying some of these kids were outside. They were seen outside, may have been a very few times. And then on some instances, it says that they basically were in that room. That was their living quarters, if you will, for the last 4 years. Either which way, it was definitely a bad environment. It was definitely unsanitary. And no kid should ever live in that type of situation. Irregardless, 110%. Jim, AJ, that's what the original warrant was for. The original warrant was for Junior was using kids as a cover to. I see, I got you. Okay. Yeah, I heard that it was the 4 straight days where he was charged with indecent exposure. And maybe that was a part of it. Well said, Doug. Well said. Annie, the 5th is unreal. Just Jaylene, it says. Great question, Doug. April, please like and subscribe if you haven't. Holly, the brainwashing them poor kids went through, without a doubt. Without a doubt. Carol, people are sick. Paige, so child sexual SA is alive and well in Ohio then. Well, I don't know if is that a good thing? I mean, is that something that you're saying that so child SA is alive and well in Ohio then? It's happening everywhere in the country, without a doubt, and it's all sickening. Good comment, Paige. Jaylene, never mind, LOL. What's the never mind, LOL? It floors me how some people said they kept the kids in that one room, but then it was said that the news that they weren't. April, Jim, Paige, I'm in a bad mood. Yes, I am. I'm not going to lie. This makes me sick. It makes all of us sick, without a doubt. And I don't blame you why this would make you in a bad mood. It'd make everybody in a bad mood. Annie, not to get off this, but I told my friend that you all were going to pray for Brother Corey. Thank you so much, Annie. Yes, and I did get the emails and I did get some information, but I will share that when I get more able to deep dive in it. The brainwashing of those kids. How do they fit all the kids in that little room all to sleep in? That's a good question, Jaylene. I don't. That's a very good question. That's a very good question. I totally agree. Doug, only the professional psychiatrist specialist can say if they are competent. That is correct. That is correct. AJ, Paige, same. Annie, hi, Jim. Brenda, Double Dog, evening, big pops, big hugs, everybody. Annie, Paige, hi. AJ, Brenda, Photon, hi, Brenda. Doug, that's not up to the judge or the prosecutor or lawyer. It's up to the shrinks. That is correct. That is correct, Doug. That is correct. Hi, Annie and Brenda. April, Annie, I am keeping up with the story. Prayers to your friend. Amen. Well said, April. Brenda, analyze Doug. Actually, they can try to prove it, but it will be very difficult to prove they are incompetent. There is a video of the inside walkthrough. And apparently there was a gag order put on everything about this case. There was a gag order that was put on there as well. Holly, were the kids attending school? No, not to my knowledge. None of them ever attended school, to my knowledge, and that's what was stated before. But I'm not sure, but I'm going to say no because that's what I read. That's what I heard. Annie, April, thank you. Carol, no, Holly. Brenda, Paige, big hugs. Paige, Stacks, no, Holly. Greg, Oleg, hi, Brenda. Brenda, Holly, no, they weren't. Sorry to say. April, AJ, thank you for your gift. Thank you so much, AJ. Jim, Holly, Oleg, with live sea roaches crawling up the walls. I know it's sickening, without a doubt. Holly, no welfare check for kids and not being in school. Where was DHS or Children's Services to not come there and see why these kids were not in school? Maybe they didn't know. I'll give them the benefit of the doubt. But the idea that no one was paying attention to these kids, they usually are tracked once they are born. They usually are tracked with their up, when they come up to their checkups and stuff as babies, they are keeping an eye on these kids. They're supposed to. So where was all that checks and balance? No welfare checks for kids not being in school. None whatsoever. Well said, Holly. AJ, April, Jim, Ole, Pay, Stacks. Did you buy a new... Ole, hi, Jim. Carol, the system failed them. Stacks. Yes, they did attend school in another country. Truancy is why they left 4 years prior. Interesting. How long were they in another county? How long were they in school? Do you know by any chance, Doug? Stacks actually have 4. CPS was also involved 5 years previous, and they didn't keep an up tab to where they were located, huh? As Dee Dee stated, topics can be emotional. If it's too much, you can step back. We will understand. Thank you, April. Brenda, I'm just glad the 16 kids are safe. Amen. With that being said, Brenda, thank you. Where was Elizabeth's mother 30 minutes away from her? Interesting. Good point, Oleg. Barney, about 25 minutes ago, Brian Etten put out a news about a case from 2025. Interesting, Barney. Thank you. Virginia, I know I am late being in court with the guilty. You're good, Virginia. Welcome in. Chico Stig, hey, Devil Dog and Pops, welcome in. Jim, Barney, AJ, Virginia, AJ Chick, Annie. Yes, Elizabeth's mother must be nuts too. Ole, Barney, would that be about Elizabeth's brother who went to prison? Chico Stick, hey AJ, Stacks. Yeah, I do want to really talk about that, Stacks. Thank you. It's said to have been the previous 4 years. They moved almost every 4 years. Interesting. So you can see the trend here. You can see the methodically planning of this family. And that in itself would send up red flags everywhere, right? Everywhere. No doubt about it. Holly, they might look safe on the outside, but their mental health will last them a lifetime. Without said, Holly, good point. Barney, hey, Jim, Virginia, thank you, Sachs. So then the idea becomes this attorney is trying to get Elizabeth out on her own reconnaissance, okay, to get the judge to drop the amount of what it's going to cost to get her out, the bond, and just because they know they don't have money, but to go ahead and OR her and she would meet every stipulation. What do you all think about that? That her attorney is proposing? Brenda, analyze Doug. Then why did they say the kids were feral? Oleg, MSM is saying Christina is Gary Seidner's Jr.'s mother. but she is not. She is his stepmother. Interesting, Cat. Interesting. Thank you for that info, my friend. Carol, yes, they said that. Virginia, AJ, hey, unbelievable. In my opinion, no official should have used that term. Thank you, Doug. Appreciate that. Well said, my friend. Carol, yes, they said that. Brenda, Barney, Oleg, nothing to do with Elizabeth or the family, was about two girls. The children. I mean, that's a pretty much consensus, I would think, across the board, you know. And yeah, this is just a tragic situation for those kids. I don't know how they're going to recover from this, to be honest with you, because it is going to be a lot of time, if ever, that they will ever get rid of this image that someday they will see, without a doubt. Whiskey, I think she needs to stay in jail. The kids didn't have a choice to leave the jail cell. Well said, Whiskey River. Well said. April, keep chat kind and friendly and respectful with no drama. Friendly reminder. Saucy, hello. AJ, Whiskey. Hey, Saucy, Bible, red, white, and blue. Hearts, Holly. It sounds like some cult. Yes, garbage, crap. You fill in the last. You're right, Holly. Well said. Brenda, Doug, the reason they said the cause of the kids could not speak. That is correct. They did say that, Brenda. Well said. AJ, Virginia, Saucy, hi, Paige. Brenda, Holly, I totally agree with you. Stacks, us. Virginia, not to my. Nice to meet you, says Virginia. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Carol, hello, Bible. Hello, Sauce. I got that, Virginia, said AJ. Saucy, hi, Carol. All right. So now that is a plan on what they're trying to do. Bible, Carol, Oleg. I found Elizabeth went to Benton High School in Arkansas around 2007, 2008. And she was 15 when she got married, and she got married in Virginia. I wonder if she went to school in Virginia by any chance, or I'm sorry, West Virginia. West Virginia. Doug, some of the kids couldn't speak, some from disabilities, some from education, but some could talk. But I'm sure all were filthy. It said they smelled alone was unforgettable. That is true. Well, good point. Good point, Doug. Whiskey, being poor is not a crime, but having that many kids and not taking care of them is. Very good point, Whiskey. Photon, hi, Bible. Bible, AJ, Brenda, AJ, and Bible. Bible, Photon. Whiskey, not. Marianne, hello, everyone. Being poor is not a crime, but having that many kids and taking care of them is. Marianne, hello everyone. Photon, hi Marianne. Barney, in my opinion, it doesn't matter why or how Ellie found those poor kids. What's important is that those kids were found. Good point, Barney. Oleg, the sad thing is, can't confirm yet, but it is said she had her first child there and the father adopted it. Interesting. Marianne, hi photo, AJ, Marianne, Bible, Holly. I praise those kids have somewhat of a normal life, without a doubt, Holly. Well said. Well said. Just Jaylene says, jump on AJ. Norma, I'm back. Brenda, Photon. Hello, big hugs. Marianne, hey there, AJ. Paige, Oleg Cat 1, their meaning where? Photon, hi Norma, AJJ, Carol, hello. Doug, what was told was that the oldest at 18 years old couldn't speak or write her name. Hence, she is being treated as a 10-year-old minor. Unreal. Well said, Doug. That is true. They did say that. Norma, hello, Photon. Norma, sweet friend, Oleg. The sad thing is her mother is a nurse. Unbelievable. Wow. Interesting. Thank you for that, Oleg. Appreciate that. Very good point. Marianne, hi, Carol. Oleg, Page, Arkansas. Whiskey. I think her parents are to blame also. They should have never signed for her to get married that young. Totally agree, Whiskey. Well said. Jaylene, Norma. Brenda, Doug, that is correct. Bible, my godmother was a single foster parent. She had 12 foster kids at one time. Prayers for the foster families. Amen. Well said. Well said, Bible. April, West Virginia has many living like this. That is very true. That is very true. Well stated, April. Norma, hello, there, sweet friend AJ. You've been missed. Welcome back. Paige, the first children were born in a hospital. Good point, Paige. Norma, hello, Jay. AJ, thank you, Norma. Missed you all. Jaylene, I agree, Whiskey. Alley Cat in the house. Hi, welcome in, Alley Cat. Norma, yes, Paige. Good evening, sweet friend. Tusi, even the children go into foster care. The children most likely will be split up. More drama for the children. There's no escaping that. That is for sure, Tusi. Well said. Photon, hi, Alicat. Saucy, sounds like the kids that were found in California a couple years ago. They were chained to beds. Sisters escaped. So sad. No doubt about it, Saucy. Well said. Brenda, it is sad that the kids had to be abused like that. Why wasn't it turned before? This is beyond me. Without a doubt. Good point, Brenda. Marianne, Doug, we needed you and DD in JLR's chat earlier. He was talking about Nolan Wells. Jaylene, her parents should be charged for being married that young. Good point, Jaylene. AJ, Ellicat, Oleg, Elizabeth's mother had a lot of children. History is repeating itself. Well said, Oleg. Norma, the first 5 children were born in the hospital. Doug, Saucy, yes. The Turpins, I believe. Bible, Tushi, so true. Norma, yes, Jay. But the judge must not have thought so. Very true, very true. CB, hello, friends. Welcome in, CB. Paige, Norma, thank you. And hello, sweet, nice friend. So the gag order issued in the case, Attorney General Andy Wilson is assisting in the case and said that 7 of the 16 children were hospitalized overnight after being rescued and 2 flown. We got that. Stolley is the attorney for Elizabeth, said the use of the words like feral and other characterizing made by Wilson has complicated the case. Stolley said his client is innocent until proven guilty, and Wilson's verbiage encourages bad speculation as people try to fill in the blanks themselves. The lack of immediate information has led to wide-ranging speculation. That's what they were talking about. Okay, that's what they were saying. Thank you, and hello, sweet, nice friend. Photon, hi, CB. Brenda, Norma, big hugs. Paige, CB. Carol, JLR mentioned Chris and Dee Dee today. Thank you, JLR. Appreciate you. Oleg, Gary Snyder's JLR has been, Gary Snyder's Jr. has been married twice before he married Elizabeth, as one child from that marriage. Interesting. Did not know that, Oleg. Well done. Thank you so much. So Gary Snyder's Jr. has been married twice before he married Elizabeth and has one child from that marriage. Interesting. Wow, I did not know that. Good information, Oleg. Thank you. Barney, Doug, did you catch ALR today about Nolan Wells? Jim, CB, Norma, hello. Brenda, good to see you, sweet. You are doing well. Annie, and what kind of wacky grandmother and grandfather that live like that too, and their grandchildren? 6, sorry. If anybody likes how I talk, but that's me. I don't think anybody said anything, Annie. Good point. And what kind of wacky grandmother and grandfather that live like that too, and their grandchildren? 6, sorry. If anybody likes how I talk, but that's me. That's very well said. Thank you, Annie. Appreciate you. Marianne, yes, that's it, Doug. Brian Hinton spoke to someone about the case. Norma, hello, CB. Good to see you. Doug, I wasn't there for JLR. No. Norma, hello, Jim, Paige, Annie, Chris. What did he say about us? What did he say? Chris is asking what JLR said about DD, and let's talk with Chris. Brenda, Norma, I'm great. Thank you for asking. Sorry, I've been so busy trying to get settled in. You're okay, Brenda. Totally understand. Jim, Norma, Jaylene, that's crazy. Jim, Chris, Norma. I did not know that, Oleg, where you hear this at, please. I didn't know that, Oleg. Where did you hear that, please? Says Norma. Brenda, Jim, survival, big hugs. Photon, hi, Chris. He wanted you to call in. Jim, Brenda, Norma, that's okay, Brenda. Glad you are doing well. Jaylene, it's Wackadoodle Wednesday. Oh, Brenda, Norma, thank you. Oleg, Norma, I am a genealogist, so I have been deep in the vaults. Thank you, Oleg. Appreciate you. Norma, hello, Annie, Marianne, Chris. I mentioned how you and Didi are covering the Nolan Wells case, and all he said was he will reach out to you. Nothing bad. Paige, Annie, hi, Norma. Allie, I'm driving, but I wanted to say I did an info request to Pima County on the permit for Max Reppin. They said that neither Max Reppin nor Royalty Renovations had any permit. I have the email. Thank you so much, Allie Cat. Send it to me, please. I know what you're talking about. Norma, okay, Oleg. Thank you for that information. April, there's the email. April, any info DD would like to see, you can send. Thank you so much, April. Appreciate that. Norma, safe driving, Alley Cat. Barney, Oleg, I am genealogist too. Over 40 years. 2 genealogists. Bingo. We got it. Thank you, Barney. Appreciate you. Thank you so much. Appreciate your knowledge in the channel. Doug, first I have to make some corrections. Judge Mom Cole is stepmom of Warren. That is correct. Also, where'd you go? Also, that she was the one cleaning the boat, the teens, not the teens. Interesting. So this is interesting. I don't want to get off topic here, but that's interesting because of the fact that wasn't that bone belong to, it was another individual, wasn't it? So why would she be cleaning the boat? Because it didn't belong to them. It wasn't Warren's boat, to my understanding. Just curious. Anyway, thank you for that, Doug. I appreciate that. As far as the Judge Mom Co. being the stepmom, that is correct. Oleg, Barney, glad to meet you. I have been doing it 54 years. Started when I was 14 in a graveyard and been hooked ever since. Well done. Well said, Oleg. Norma, wow, Miss Barney, that's awesome. Buttercups, hey, all happy Wednesday. Welcome in, Buttercups. Definitely thank God it's hump day without a doubt. Doug, the pool party happened at Evan's house. There is a photo of the pool party. Yes, Wyatt's boat. Thank you for clarifying that. Appreciate that, Doug. So why was the judge literally cleaning Wyatt's boat? What would be the reason in the middle of the early morning or whenever they got back? Whatever time, I know they left at 4:30, but whatever time they got back, why would she be cleaning the boat unless she wanted to tan? Norma, wow, like that's awesome. Marianne, hi, Buttercup. Paige, hi, Buttercups. Carol, hello, Buttercup. Brenda, Buttercups, big hugs. Bible, Miss Barney, wow, I love that lane of work. I found my sister after 60 years. Awesome, Bible. Buttercups, hi, Marianne. Click that like, everybody. Click that like. Share this stream out to your followers. Send the emojis. Let's get it, everybody. Let's get that algorithm going. Tusi, Buttercup. Hi, Buttercups. Hi, Brenda. Bible, Buttercups. Brenda. Tusi, big hugs. AJ, Buttercup. Buttercup. Hi, Photon, Buttercups. Hi, Bible. Norma, that is amazing news, Bible, and a good evening. Marianne, Carol, and Photon, I'm mad at both of you. You kept me up late last night laughing out loud. Buttercups, hey, AJ, Paige, congratulations, Bible from A to Z. Bible, when parents help cover up their kids' wrong, it burns me up. I totally agree, Bible, 100%. What else could she have been doing other than maybe getting a tan? Is that even possible? That early in the morning, if it was done early. Just saying, just a thought. But anyways, back. Norma, Marianne, Photon, Marianne, that was all Shibs. Saucy, because he had been in a boat and they drove him back to the horn. She had to clean it up then, says Saucy. Good point. That's a good point. That's a very good point, Saucy. Thank you for that. Bible Page, thank you. Doug, some parents of others are sheriffs and a lawyer. Body was discovered by Cajun Navy. Tyler Perry paying legal Pepperneck is covering the funeral costs and paying for the autopsy. That is correct, Doug. Alley Cat, hi, Oleg. Where are you from? I think Canada, right, Oleg? Or where are you from, Oleg? If you don't mind asking, Alley Cat wanted to know. Marianne, laughing out loud, Photon, Bible, Norma, thank you. Barney, oh goodness, Oleg. I have lost track of time, laughing out loud, and I now realize I've been doing more than 50 years too. I blame it on my grandfather. Well said, Barney. Click that likes, everybody. Click that likes algorithm. Let's get it going, everybody. Share, click the hearts and the emojis. Let's build this channel. Barney, oh goodness, Oleg, I have lost track. Norma, you're welcome, Bible. Carol, Marianne, go find your bestie. Oleg, hi, Alley Cat. I am in the UK. Jaylene, my daughter just told me that 56 ounces of ranch plus another 36-ounce bottle will only last her a week. Well, that's very interesting, Jaylene. Thank you. Photon, Carol, Marianne, Carol, I lost her laughing out loud. Carol, Oleg, UK, Alley-Cat, genealogy is so interesting. Without a doubt, well said, Allie. I am from the moon, says Chris McLaughlin. Norma, wow, Jay, she loves her ranch. Marianne, Carol, you are my new besties. Okay, laughing out loud. Norma, hello, Chris. Good to see you from the moon. Jim, Marianne, hi, Chris, Carol. Marianne, absolutely love you. Brenda with the hearts. Marianne, hi, Jim. AJ, Marianne, sorry you have to share Carol with me. Stacks. That's crazy. A kid every year from 15 to 30 something. That is correct. Without a doubt, Stacks. Well said, my friend. Brenda, Marianne, hugs. Bible. Chris, I thought I saw you there laughing out loud. Marianne, Carol, love you too. Annie, Chris, hi. Alley Cat, nice. UK, Ukraine, sorry, I don't know, laughing out loud. Carol, love you. AJ, Jaylene, Chris is the man in the moon. Norma, hello, Stacks. Doug, I am hopeful this will be solved very soon. It's wonderful that all-star support for Nolan, without a doubt. Well said, Doug. Service is Monday, so autopsy findings may come out soon. We're hoping, without a doubt. Thank you, Doug, for that info. Oleg, genealogies is addictive, but you learn so much from your past ancestors. Stacks, Norma, sweet dude, Shibby, hi, dog, hi, everyone. Hello, Shibby, good to have you. Jim, Tushi, Marianne, that's okay. We can be the three troublemakers laughing out loud. Photon, hi, Shibs. Oleg, hi, Shib. AJ, hi, Shib. Carol, hi, Shib. Shib, Chib, Paige, Shibs. April, hello, Shibs, is in the house. Jersey lady, welcome in, Shib. No, the United Cajun Navy did not find the body. They were an aircraft and noticed authorities gathered on the shore, but they were not the ones who actually found him. Thank you for that information, the Jersey lady. Jaylene, Shibs, Marianne, Shibs, Carol, Marianne, Photon. I look down on all of you at night. Well said, well said. April, Chris is on the moon still. Stash, Shibby, what up? CB, I love ancestry. Annie, hi Shibby. CB, hi Shibby. Chicka baby, says Barney. Chicka baby, says Barney. Jim, Alley Cat. Photon, me, a troublemaker never. Norma, Chris is the moon man. Fly me to the moon, says Norma. Carol, Photon, Bible, Chris McLaughlin. Oh, my Lord. Sweet dude, Chibi, Photon, hi Norma, Paige, April, J, Marianne, Carol, Stacks, and Oleg. Jeannie, CB, Barney, everyone, Chicka, I love you all. Well said, Shibby. April, no troublemakers allowed here. Saucy, well said, April. Saucy was a worker from the island that found him. Thank you, Saucy, for clarifying that. Appreciate that. Norma, Shibby, Carol, April. Whew, you got the Shibbies out. So supposedly all the windows were boarded up at that house of the 16 in Ohio. They were all boarded up. And that's why they're claiming that the inside footage of the home is patently false. That's what they're saying. That's what the attorney of Elizabeth is saying, because all the windows were boarded up, so there was no way to get a video in there. One video, he said, shared a widely on social media claiming to be an interior of the home, shows open windows. It is unknown. Investigators boarded up the windows to preserve the evidence. The only official description of the home interior came from prosecutors and officers who said the children were allegedly kept in a 12 by 12 room. So basically, he's saying that those pictures and videos that they showed were not legit. And because they were not legit, you must not keep them. He didn't say that. I threw that in there. But the reality is he's saying that they're not legit. Whether or not, we just know it was disgusting and very in bad shape for those kids to be living in. Photon, hi, Norma Page. April, Page. Okay, April, I will see my way out laughing out loud. Oleg, Annie, she must be the most fertile woman I have ever come across. And to have 4 sets of twins after each other. That is for damn sure, Oleg. Well said. Bible Shibby, Marianne, April, Marianne, Sweet Dude Shibby, thanks for the welcome, guys. Love coming here. Sorry I'm late. Good to have you. Annie, Oleg, you got this right. Holly, Marianne Shibby, is all your fault. I'm tired today. Bible, Shibby, any friend of DD's is a friend of ours. Thank you, Bible. Norma, love you too, Shibby. You're good. Hi, Bible. Carol, Shibby was hilarious on 857. Laughing was the best. Barney, April, I tried to email you, but I must have gotten the email address wrong. Sweet Dude Shibby, Marianne was up all night cracking jokes, laughing out loud. Photon says, Marianne, he kept me up till 4:30. Oh, wow. Bible, Ole, my dad's mom had 4 sets of twins back to back, 12 kids total. Oh, wow. Interesting. Very interesting, Bible. AJ, eyes busting out his head. Or saying, wow. Oleg, Elizabeth, brother spent time in prison for beating up a baby, I think 2 years old, barking its arm and causing head injuries not that long ago. Interesting. Marianne, oh my God, I was laughing at Sheriff No News last night on Chevy. Interesting. AJ, you have my coffee made. So that's why the attorney was saying that, her defense attorney for Elizabeth. So other things that this attorney, Stolley, was saying, the attorney for Elizabeth, he was saying other speculations included the extent of the abuse, with rumors online that the 16 children were bound. Stolley said there is no evidence the children were restrained. Elizabeth and the others arrested, adults, and you all know who was arrested, have not been indicted. Stolley filed a motion to have Elizabeth released and an adjusted bond because he said there was no indication she was at risk. He said they would agree to any stipulation from the court. The motion has not received a response from prosecutors or a judge. Elizabeth, Gary II, Christina remain in Southern Ohio jail. Gary Sidner's the first was released on reconnaissance bond last week after suffering a fall, leading to a medical professional to discover a severe medical condition that required hospitalization. Gary Sr. will also sit for a competency hearing to determine if he's fit for a possible trial. Stolley said they are evaluating possible competency concerns for Elizabeth, as he said he would in any case, but will need more information. So you see where the direction of the case is going, where the defense attorney is going to try and make, right? You see where they're headed. They're going to play the incompetence issues for them not to have to go to court because they can't stand their trial, that they just don't understand what's going on. Norma, AJ, good deal, sweet friend. Tusi, love your shirt, Didi. Thank you so much, Tusi. Appreciate you. Jaylene, oh my God, Oleg. Brenda, Oleg, what did the doctors report the abuse? What didn't the doctors report the abuse? April, yahoo.com, Miss Barney. There's April's email. AJ, Norma Page, Tusi, hi, Shibby, Barney, Shibby, is the wildfire in Canada close to you? Cat, I don't know, Brenda. Have not done further research on that yet, but I will. Elizabeth, pregnant again. What I heard. She is pregnant again, is what I heard as well. Hi, Tushi, says Shibby. Make sure you all subscribe to Shibby as well if you are not. He also does a lot of good work, without a doubt. Bible, I don't think they should get bond. They may disappear into the woods. It's a very good possibility. They'll disappear somewhere, without a doubt. But yeah, that's what he's trying. That's the angle that this defense attorney is trying to go into, and that is the competence issue. Hey, Norma, you missed when he skipped 3 of my posts for being comical and topic earlier, but it's okay. Yes. Oleg, Norma, that child should be taken away from her birth. Yeah, she's pregnant again. Norma, Bible, sweet Chibi. Yes, it is in my Providence, Ontario. Norma, it's nighttime all day today. Brenda, Oleg, thank you, because the law that doctors have to report abuse. Paige. Bible, Oleg, Norma, taking the baby at birth. Maybe it's a saving grace. Never thought about that like that, but yeah. Possibility, says, yeah, no doubt. Very good point, Bible. Brenda, Oleg, you got that right. Photon, Shibs, Annie. Yes, Norma, she would never be able to have kids again. The judge shall order her fixed. Interesting. How would that play out in court? I wonder how would that play out in court, everybody? Where is Doug when you need him? Doug, how would that play out in court? Could that judge do something like that? Interesting. Just a thought. Bible, Norma, Brenda, Bible, you got that right. Oleg, Brenda, I am still searching through the newspapers, but it might be too new to be in the archives yet. Sweet dude Chibi, the wilderness are far north of me, but the smoke is bad. Sorry, to my beautiful American friends. Josie, Didi, are you near Lorain, Ohio? I know exactly where Lorain is at, Tusi. Yes, I know exactly where Lorain. Alley Cat, I am curious, how old was the oldest child? 18, I believe, Alley Cat. 18. It was the daughter that I think had developmental needs. Norma Pays, that chat is moving fast. He probably didn't see you repost them. Photo, YouTube, Sweet Chibi, Brenda, Oleg, Austin, please keep us in the loop. Al, hey, DD and Chad, really late today. Had an issue with my washer here now. You're good to go. Thank you for being here, L. Marianne, please stay safe. Chevy Photon. April. YouTube. There's Shibby's. Literally, you can subscribe to Shibby, everybody. He's a very good individual and does really good work. Love having Shibby. Alicat, the oldest, is 18 years old. Paige, Norma, he said he didn't want to talk about that, but it's okay. Barney, we have really odd skies here from the fire and are under an air quality warming. Stay safe, Shibby. Norma, Shibby, Annie, I can't get Dee Dee back up. Just these ciders. Well said, Annie. Well said. Photon, hi, L. Tusi, hi, L. L, hi, Photon. Oleg, Alley Cat, the first child was born in 2008 with GSJNR. Jaylene, yes, he could. Interesting, Jaylene. That is very interesting. Thank you. Annie, I'm back. Carol, hello. Photon, Annie. Chris, the oldest is 18. That is a fact. L, did man the video off the Sider's house that came out today. I couldn't believe it. Did man the video of the Sider's house that came out today. I couldn't believe it. Well said, L. AJ, L, Norma, 18, April, YouTube. There is Chris's. Literally, subscribe to Chris's live. Subscribe to Chris's channel. Definitely, we do a lot of things together, my friend. And thank you for being here, as well as you, Shibby. Hi, Carol, says L. Jaylene, the judge couldn't also order her to get fixed. Judge could also order. Thank you, Jaylene. Appreciate that. Sweet dude, Shibby. I am safe, guys. We're in this together. We get through this, and you guys have come up to help. So thanks, and we'll return the favor soon. Amen. Well said, Shibby. Tusi, my daughter is a veterinarian in Lorain, DD. Awesome. That is awesome. Take our pets there. Carol, L, seeing your super chat on JLR. Thanks. Norma, 1985. It was hard to watch. Sweet dude, Chibi. Thanks, guys. You got it. Annie, Jaylene, just thought maybe. Brenda, I think it will play out. They will be convicted in child abuse and neglect, 60 counts to be exact. That is correct. And I agree with you, Brenda. I think it's going to happen. But that defense attorney is coming up with a lot of stuff that he's trying to, I don't know if he's trying to throw smoke, trying to misrepresent what has actually happened because of some things that are not necessarily important, but definitely they're going to be found guilty of how they took care and probably raised those kids, without a doubt. Well, good point. April, Chevy, your smoke is in PA. Jaylene, it's been done before. Yeah, that's interesting, Jaylene. I really find that interesting. No doubt about it. Norma, what page I missed? Photon, Shibs, L, Norma, it definitely was. Carol, L, absolutely. L, stay safe, Shibby. Barney, dragging my fire hose to Canada now. Don't worry, help is on the way, dear. Have a blessed evening, Shibby. Paige, fire trucks. Little guy, I think that's what that is. I'm not sure. But definitely the fire trucks. Buttercups, driving home from work again, listening. Thank you, Buttercups. Appreciate you. April, be safe. We have air quality alerts here, Shibby. Jaylene, L, with the hearts. Carol, you too, Norma. L, hi, everybody. I miss coming in late. Annie, are we still having that big reveal tonight? According to Chris, we're having it at 10. Without a doubt. Click that likes, everybody. Click that likes. Send the emojis. If you like the channel, do that. Get the algorithms going, everybody. Help the channel grow. L, Jaylene, good to see you. Marianne, hi, L. Oleg, Cat. Hey, safe travels at Buttercup's Patrol, Sun Patrol. Brenda, April, please stay safe. Buttercup, Marianne, Oleg, Paige, and Brenda. Hello, says L. Saucy, hi, L. Hi, Saucy. Brenda, L, big hugs. April, thanks, Brenda. Paige, April, 1950. How is your husband doing in that air quality alert? Norma, Carol, I'm not leaving yet. Brenda, April, you're very welcome. Annie, Tusi, is she holistic? Ole, Patrick Pride is live in 3 hours. Carol Burton, and I learned PP from Paige. Thank you, Paige. I knew what PP, I had to think for a minute. Patriot Pride is live in 3 hours. Carol, Burton. Oh, Norma, sorry I read that wrong. Jody Woe's in the house. Hey there. April, Page. He has COPD, so is risky, but he is okay. Thank you for asking. Carol, hello, Jody. Norma, hello, 1985. Glad you made it in, sweet friend. Brenda Oleg, who is PP? Please. Patriot Pride. Tusi, Annie, no. LDD, I recommended to JLR that you and Chris go up the panel and talk about the Nolan case. Told him you guys have done a good job and had lots of info, basically. Thank you, Al. Appreciate that. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. Thank you all for plugging in us everywhere. That's the only way we're going to grow and learn from one another, everybody. Norma, it's okay, Carol. Paige, I must have misunderstood yesterday. I thought you guys said PP would be on last night. Norma, hello, Jody. Jody Woo. Hi, Carol. Photon, hi, Jody. Jody Woo, hi, Photo. AJ, Jody, L, Norma, me too, thanks. I have never tried to get belt and washer before and hope I never do it again. Well done, L. Well done. Probably ended up saving some money, no doubt about it. Oleg, Brenda, Patriot Pride, Jody Woo, AJ, Chris, Patriot Pride, 10 p.m. tonight. Thank you very much, Chris. We will definitely be watching. Paige, so I watched Drunk Turkey Show instead. Brenda, Oleg, thank you for the info. Norma, oh no, not for me. Too late. I watched DD in the morning on it. Yes, you will. I'll definitely be reporting the coverage on it to see what everybody thought. And Chris will be here. Paige, Al 1985, Photon, 10 p.m. Eastern. There it is. There is Patriot Pride's channel. If you want to subscribe to Patriot Pride, another man that does a good job. Simplify Patriot Pride. Sweet dude Shibby, hey Chris, sounds exciting. I'll be there. L, the Patriot Pride Live is scheduled now. Yes, I checked earlier and it wasn't. Marianne, I watched Shibby on 857 last night. Shibby did a great job being Sheriff Nails. You know, it took me a little bit when I was watching it, and then I could see that it was Shibby acting as Nettles. That was pretty funny, and you did sound a lot like him, Shibby, without a doubt. Barney, I saw Ted and JLR do the ice bucket challenge today, says Barney. Tusi, Didi, give me some highlights on the Tonight Show with Patriot Pride. I can't watch. I'll be on your 5 p.m. tomorrow. You got it, Tusi. I will. I will definitely do that for you. Thank you. Jody, woo, I am late, but can't wait until today. No doubt, Jody. Good to have you. And it's going to be interesting to see Patriot Pride tonight with Chris and everybody else. Tonight, Patriot Pride. Brenda, Devil Dog, any word when they have a court date, please? Not yet. I am really thinking of going up there and doing a live from Vinton County, where the 16, those kids from Vinton County in Ohio, I'm thinking about going up there and doing a live Saturday and just kind of getting a feel of the, maybe just to see what it appears like. So Saturday, I am probably going to be going up there without a doubt. So we will be doing, hopefully, God willing, a live from that location if we can get a signal. I don't know, because it is a small little community. So I don't know if we'll be able to or not, but we'll figure it out. But I will let you know whenever that date comes up for that court. I'll try to stay on top of it and give you that date. No doubt about it. Annie, Tusi, thank you. L, Page, April, I hope they unblock DD and PP. Laughing out loud. Right? No doubt about it. That would be funny. Marianne L, we basically told JLR about DD and Chris like 5 times. That is awesome, Marianne. L, yeah, April, they did. It was a timeout, I think, accident. Yeah, it was. No worries, everybody. Jody Woo, yes, Shibby. was funny as no nads. He really was. I mean, for a minute there, I thought it was Nanos for a second. No doubt about it. L, yes, Marianne. He said he was getting up with Chris. I don't think he knows Dee yet, but he will. Amen, L. Thank you. Norma, 1985. It is a one-time thing, huh? Glad you fixed it, though. Without a doubt, Norma. Well said, L. No doubt. Hopefully you don't have to go to that mess again. Chris, I will be sleeping. What are you talking about, DD? We're just having a conversation. Norma, didn't think would ever get on. Took 3 people, but they saved a lot of money. Awesome. That is awesome, Al. Photon, Chris, you slacker. L, Photon, Tusi, thank you, DD. You very welcome, Tusi, no doubt. You very welcome. AJ, L, Annie, Chris sleeping. April, Chris gave Melly a gag order. Not fair. I know she would have told me, says April. Well said. Norma, 1985. Glad you all got it on. And yes, definitely, it did save a lot of money. Oleg, try and talk to the locals. I could do that, Oleg. I think that's a good idea. I know they're spread out there, but, I'll try. Absolutely. It's kind of weird, though, because I mean, I know where it's at, and I know the town, I know the area, I'm from this area, but just the idea of, I wonder how kind of an eerie feeling you're going to get, because there's been people that have gone there already and said, man, it was really eerie, just to know when you know the story and the backdrop of it. But that would be interesting. I may do that. Chris, in the AM. In the AM, yes. Marianne, yeah, right, Chris, laughing out loud. L, 1985, that will be cool. Boots on the ground, DD. It would be nice, absolutely. I wanted to share something with you all about the income. So the area where this family lived, okay, of the 16 deciders, they talked about how impoverished it is in that community, which I thought was very interesting. So the median salary there is $55,000. The reason I bring this up because $55,000, I mean, I know it's not a lot of money for 16 kids, but if they were literally gone out and got some government assistance, that would have helped their food bill. $55,000 is not a lot, or is not too little, in the sense that I know a lot of people who are in retirements that are making maybe $25,000, $27,000, and they have to live on that, and that's on their retirement. So $55,000, the average in that small town, is not really, in my opinion. I mean, I know everybody wants to make more, but it's not really that bad for that area. Just saying. Now, what I do find interesting is 13% of the people there, only 13% there are college graduates. 13%. So roughly just a tad bit under one person out of every 10 or so. Or one person out of 100. Yeah. And I wonder, so they're using all these little excuses about how it's so impoverished in that area. That's what the defense attorney is using to make his claim that this is something that deals with the environment as well as why these kids live like this family. But I'm not sure I buy that, because it was said by one of you earlier, you can be poor, but you don't have to be dirty poor. And it's funny because one of you that said that, I remember my mother used to say that. There's nothing wrong with being poor. Just be clean. You don't have to be dirty and be poor. Very well said. That means a lot, actually, because then it tells you the kind of mentality you have to want to give more and make it better for your kids. You know what I mean? So I just thought I'd go ahead and share that. It was kind of an interesting little detail there for me anyways. So, Chris, I supposed to be your number one, and I have no clue what's going on, AJ. Brenda, Devil Dog, Austin, please do. I will. I will. I think it'd be a good idea. Janie, I think Ted did his challenge with the warm water and ice. Leave it to Ted, right? Oh, Lordy. Norma, AJ, Norma, Jeannie, just that was a foolish thing Ted did. Hell, a gag order to Melly. I don't know. I don't see that. Oleg, mingle in, but don't make it obvious. AJ, Norma, Oleg, I wondered if they knew they could get help. Well, yeah, then you go back to that competency thing, right? Were they even, did they know how to, were they afraid to go get help? Were they afraid they would look into the fact that they're not in school? Because that's one of the things they'll probably ask you, is your kids registered for school? You know, nowadays you can get kids, they will help them with shoes and backpacks and crayons and, you know, things that they need. So were they afraid to get those kids enrolled, because that would be one of the things they would have to look at, right? I mean, did they really not do it because they didn't want to expose any more than they had to? Something to think about, no doubt about it. Barney, I'm generally the one to be silent stalker. I mean, silent mingler. Tussie, laughing out loud. L, my honest opinion is there's no excuse for why that house looks the way unless it's mental health related. That was absolutely horrendous and makes no sense. Well said, El. Well said. Norma, Oleg, if they were getting assistance from the government, wouldn't they have to know how many kids live with them and how many in the house? Yes, that's a fact. That is a fact. Well said. They would have to know that. So maybe that's why they only had, they said, I think they said there was only two people getting government assistance. There was only two people, to my understanding. I could be wrong on that, but if anybody knows, let me know. But I thought it was two people that were getting food assistance. Saucy, Barney, I'm the silent mingler. Carol, no, none of them really work. Only DoorDash part time. Hey, I do DoorDash as well sometimes. So, hey, I get it. Bible, the fact that they two older adults were clean, according to the store clerk, that is correct, Bible, says a lot about the neglect of others. Without a doubt, Bible, very good point. Because the store clerk did say that. She said that even the grandfather of the kids or the grandmother of the kids, when they were there, she said they were fine. They smell fine. It was like no big deal, you know. So to the idea that they cared about how they looked in public but didn't give a damn about how the kids looked in public speaks volume, in my opinion. Well said, Bible. Well said. Carol, exactly. Oleg, I would have thought so, Norma, not up on USA law and that type of stuff. Annie, L must all be mental. Chris, yep, she had that odor. April, L Melly knows, but Chris won't let her tell us about the show tonight. L, they couldn't have fed them bread and ramen, make some soup, can stretch money out. There's absolutely no excuse, in my opinion. It has to be mental health. And that's what their attorney is trying to show. I'm not sure he's going to get it done, because I think the biggest question is going to be, well, Miss Sider, why didn't you go get help from the government? Because the government does have assistance. And what is she going to say? Well, we didn't want anybody to know how many kids we had. We didn't want anybody to know how they were living. They didn't have school clothes. I mean, you know what I mean? There's so many questions they will have to answer. And I'm not sure she's in the, for a better lack of words, the right state of mind to be able to answer those questions. But you're very right, Elle. I agree with that 100%. Elle, Chris, AJ, something is definitely wrong with those people mentally. Brenda, Devidog, maybe they did get assistance, but sold them for drugs, in my opinion. That has well been documented that has happened before quite a bit. So that's a very good point, Brenda. I forgot about that, but that is a good point. We don't know if they did, but I know they did say in one of the earlier, when the story first broke, that they said there was two people getting assistance. I thought it was the grandfather, Gary Sider Sr., and Elizabeth were the only two getting food assistance. That's what I thought I heard. Could be wrong. If I am, hey, correct me somebody. Something is definitely wrong. April, laughing out loud, Norma, Oleg. Maybe they really know. Oleg, maybe don't really know. That's very possible. Very, very possible. Says Norma to Oleg. That's very possible. Norma, yes, mom and dad did. I thought there was two people that got it. I really thought there was two people, but that's what they said early. The two older adults were getting the assistance, and they were the only clean ones. They weren't too stupid. Now, that's a good point, Bible. That's a good point. Very good point. Well said, my friend. Well said. Thank you so much, Bible. You're right. I mean, that is a good point because they knew the game they had to play to get what they wanted. Yes. That's interesting. Good point, Bible. Good point. Oleg, one of the family strayed to California, lived in tin hut, and dies alone dies alone on a mattress stuffed with nearly $1,000 in it and $60,000 in the bank. That gives a whole new meaning to hoarder, right? A whole new meaning. Just saying. Jaylene, I want to know what they were doing with all that oil. Well, they said that the oil sometimes and I know this sounds horrible, but they would give that to the kids to drink, and supposedly it was something that would help, help them in some capacity. I don't remember exactly how, but it would help them get something, whether it's in their system or whatnot. I don't know, but I know it has something to do with that, and then of course the water and the oil. God, that's just so sickening. Jaylene, I know, right? Me too. Jonathan in the house. What is your thoughts on this case? My thoughts, Jonathan, on this case is probably it's just a sad situation, first of all. And the idea that literally the adults would put them before their kids speaks volume to me. To be able to put yourself before your kids or grandkids, that tells you everything you need to know right there. Do I think that there is some things that could have happened in that? Absolutely. Do I think they are going to be found guilty? I really do, because they always made sure they were good to go. They didn't look like they were starving, speaking of the adults, but the kids sure looked like they were not only starving, malnutrition or whatnot, but they weren't well when they took these kids. A lot of them had to go to the hospital to get checked out, intensive care on one, to be flighted to an emergency, all that kind of stuff. So my opinion would be, yeah, they were neglected. I mean, there's no other way to put it. I think they were neglected. I think the parents and I don't know about the grandparents that are going to have to pay, because it's going to come down to the parents' fault, but the grandparents knew about it. So the idea, yeah, I think they're going to be found guilty, and I think they did neglect those kids, and whether they knew it or not, whether they had the competency or not, the fact is they still neglected their kids. And that's the bottom line. Kids can't defend themselves. Kids can't fend for themselves. So to me, that is the question right there. How could you live with yourself raising your kids like this while you look like this? It's kind of like, I'm going to eat the last piece of bread when my kids don't even have a piece of bread to eat. That's what it would sound to me. But that's just my opinion, Jonathan. Thank you for that question. Appreciate you. April, I want to know how they hid 16 kids from the public. Yeah, that's a whole nother animal there. Well said, April. L, in that video, I did see some oil by the sink, oil every night though. Very strange. Very, very strange, L. Oh, someone, you know what? Someone did say about the oil something about it helps with getting rid of lice. I remember hearing that, and I think it could have been the store clerk that worked there that said that. But someone mentioned that oil helps to get rid of lice. That would explain it because I do remember hearing that now. Jonathan, hello. Brenda, April, because they were hiding in a very small room, what I heard. Norma, Ole, they were getting assistance thinking about it because they were their food stamp card at the dollar store. Now, how they get by having 16 children and no one knowing, that's a different story. Without a doubt, well said, Norma. Carol, and if they were in school, they would have been fed at least. How selfish. Very good point, Carol. Very good point. Norma, yes, DD, you are right. Yeah, I think I would lean to that in all honesty. Jonathan, what they did with the oil is very gross. No doubt about it, Jonathan, without a doubt, in my opinion. Doug, it is interesting that there was clean, normal looking room, in my opinion. This was probably intentional when anyone talked to the outside world as the kids on Instagram and or Snapchat was all part of a cover up, in my opinion. That's a good point too, Doug. Absolutely. Absolutely. Very, excuse me, very good point. Norma, they never bought enough food to show they had a large family, maybe. They said they always went to the dollar store. They always went there at 9:45 because they closed at 10. And at 9:45 they would get their stuff every night, sometimes diapers on a constant basis. That is true. Norma, yes, yes, DD. L, Jonathan, I try to not let my mind go there, but it is hard not to, in my opinion. No doubt about it, L. Well said. I understand that, says Jonathan. Thank you for being here, Jonathan. Appreciate you. Make sure you guys click the likes, click the algorithms. If you like the channel and you like your opinion be heard, that's what we do on this channel. And here we all get along. We all can agree to disagree without any drama. Doug, it is assumed that the clean room was grandparents, but we don't know for sure. Well, didn't they say that the only ones that the grandparents were paying rent for that room, that's how they also were able to get that assistance? I thought that's what they were saying, that's how they showed they were getting assistance, that they were paying rent for the room. But in reality, we know that's probably not really true. Just saying, in my opinion. Barney, if mom or dad were ever busted for EBT fraud, they would temporarily or permanently be removed from EBT. That is true. That is true. Doug, the grandparents are deceased in 2009, 2008. Gene, Didi liked today because I fell asleep this afternoon and just woke up. You're good, Gene. You're good. Thank you for being here. Appreciate you. Brenda, it blows my mind how they didn't lose the kids from the hospital, in my opinion. Yeah, I mean that's a good point too. There's so many good points here, everybody. Norma, drink the oil, poor children. Keeping it quiet and hiding them makes me believe they knew what was going on was not right, but it still believed there was a mental health component. I mean, you almost got to have some type of mental health. Hang on a second. You almost got to have a mental health issue to not think that something's wrong with that, without a doubt. Hi, Gene, says L. Gene, play today because Norma, yes, 1985. Doug, Christina, and Gary Sr. are the grandparents. Yes, that is correct. Christina and Gary Sr. Elizabeth and Gary Jr. are the parents. Al, hello there. Oleg, Doug records show they are Gary Jr.'s father and stepmother. Yes, they are, Oleg. Well said. Brenda, why don't the other grandparents get involved? I wonder. Yeah, I'm not sure. I am really not sure. Norma, yes, Doug, I mentioned it wrong. Oleg, Eugene was the grandfather. Al, I wonder also if the grandparents stayed there all of the time or not. I'm sure they did. I mean, I'm not sure they had anywhere really that they could go because I do think they said they had a car, but I'm not sure. Jonathan says, Dee Dee, do you think that they abused the grandparents? And why is the house all boarded up? Dee Dee, do you think they abused the grandparents? I don't think so. In all honesty, I don't think they abused. You're talking about Elizabeth and Gary Jr. No, I don't think they abused the grandparents. They don't strike me as they would know how to abuse the grandparents, physically, mentally, or otherwise. I do think that the grandparents are a part of this problem because they didn't do anything, they didn't say anything, they just allowed it to happen. Even if the grandparents came in later to live with them, they should have said something, without a doubt. There should have been something in their heart to say, this is wrong. And if they did say that in their heart, then they should have acted upon and got authorities in there to help those kids immensely. So no, I don't think that they abuse the grandparents. In my opinion, I don't know that to be fact, but I don't see that in my profession. I wouldn't think that at all. Why was the house all boarded up? So they didn't want anybody to look inside and see how many kids were running around. If anybody came in, if anybody stopped by, anybody, and they wanted to take a look in the window, they couldn't see all these kids running around. They couldn't see anything. So they boarded up all the windows. They never had to worry about that. That would be my take on that, Jonathan. Thank you for that question. Tarek, hi, DD. Tarek, hi, L. Good to have you, Tarek. Welcome in. Carol, my kids and husband ate first always in my home. That's how I was always raised. Okay. My kids ate before anything. My family ate before me. I will pick up the leftovers if there is any. That's how I was raised. So, but not all of us are raised the same way. But I agree with you, Carol. Well said. But I let my kids and my wife eat before myself. Why? Because that to me, I could always find a way to get something. I've never really had to be in that position a lot, but I know when you're first married and you have kids, it's always a struggle for any parent. But that's how I used to roll. Just that simple. Oh, no way in heck would I ever sit there with one more piece of bread than my name on it and with my son right there, hungry. He is my everything, without a doubt, L. Without a doubt. Well said. Hi, Terry. Bible. I also heard vegetable oil is consumed to survive in some countries. That's what it was. I knew they consumed the vegetable oil. I think that's what it was. It was some countries did that. I don't know if it was like, the really impoverished uh, countries. I'll just leave it at that. But I did hear, and maybe that's exactly what I heard, that they do consume it to help survive. But that's just so sad. But I do also know that they did talk about that some people use that. It's easier to get the lice out of the hair. And that would explain probably why it was by the sink. You run the water, you put the oil, you're taking everything out right there in the sink. Then you can just wash the head if you decide to wash the hair. God, I can't even think about that. That's so pathetic. But yeah, good point, Bible. AJ, Elizabeth hair looks pretty greasy in the new pics, like if she applied oil. Very possible. Oleg, Eugene, the grandfather, went to prison for unaliving his 8 and 10-year-old kids in an auto accident. He was drunk. Oh, wow. Tarek, good to see you, L. Jaylene, exactly. Norma, Jonathan, it was mentioned, yes, in another live stream. Interesting. Brenda, Jonathan, the reason why the house was boarded up was because one of all the filth and two to hide the kids. Without a doubt. Without a doubt. Well said. Well said. Brenda. Gene, oil and saran wrap. Very interesting. Thank you, Gene. Tarek. Hi, Brenda. Good to see ya. Brenda, Tarek, big hugs. Tarek, hugs back, Brenda. Oleg. Maybe they use the oil to wash the body with like they do in Pakistan. Very possible, like very possible. Tarek, poor kids might take years to work through the trauma, if at ever. Without a doubt, Tarek. Well said. Well said, everybody. Click that like. Get that algorithm going, everybody. Do me that favor. Click the like if you like the like. Subscribe. It's free. And if you want to be a member, a Devil Dog Pup Investigator, by all means, please subscribe. Do me that favor. Help out the channel if you'd like. Doug, I'm curious if there was a riffle at the house. A riffle at the house was a wild game part or all of the food: squirrel, deer, bear, raccoon. Yeah, I don't know. That's an interesting thought, Doug. Very interesting thought. Brenda, Oleg, anything is possible in my opinion. Well said. April, so who reported this? How did it get out? That's the big question, because they went there to serve the warrant, but now it's coming out that almost like that was the excuse to go there and use that and then say, hey, we hear kids, and then go ahead and have a reason to go ahead and go in the house and take those kids out of that environment. I don't know that to be exact, but that's what's been discussed. And that's the interesting part that I see. I don't know why they just didn't take DHS and go out there and do a knock and talk. If you hear kids and no one's coming to the door, you know you have a problem. Now, that doesn't mean you can go in there, but you could possibly, get a warrant for the safety of those kids, and then go ahead and try to go that angle, and then bring DHS with the warrant with the officers, and then do it like that, initiated by DHS. That's what I would think. Just a theory, a thought. Seen it may happen several times in my profession. Tarek, I think the younger children may be the only ones with a chance. Well said. Chris, you say that now, Didi, but when we are setting things up, all you do is yell at me. Stop it, Chris. You are my friend. I never yell at you. I may look at you funny, but I never yell at you. I may look at you funny because you shaved your beard, but I will never yell at you. Just kidding, my friend. You look better without that scruffy little thing and having it all nice and neat cut, in my opinion. Appreciate you, my friend. Tarek, it's the grandpa still in the hospital. Not really sure, Tarek. Haven't heard much about the grandpa. If he's in the hospital or if he's at home. That's a good question. I have to look up that one because I don't know. My guess, a person that old, 70, I think he's 73, right? 73, 77, something like that. Sometimes it's hard to teach an old dog new tricks. You know what I mean? So I don't know. That's interesting. That's a good point, Terry. Oleg, now you are onto something. They like to unalive deer. Very possible. Tarek, L1 agreed. Norma, 1985, did you hear about the letter the cousin wrote about the family? There was a letter that was written about that by the cousin. You are correct. I did hear about that. Jaylene, Dee, you yell at Chris? Never. I never yell at Chris. I laugh with Chris. I don't laugh at Chris. I laugh with Chris. He makes me laugh. Marianne, April thought they were going there because of another charge that noticed that kids. That's originally what I thought. They were going there to serve the warrant because that's what they said. But then now there's more digging that has been done, and it appears that that was a way of getting to those kids. They serve the warrant. No one's there. They hear the kids' noise, make noise. Now, if they feel those kids are in danger, by law, they can go ahead and actually do what they did, go into the house just to make sure everybody's okay, because they do hear kids in the house. Were those kids screaming, yelling, playing? I have no clue. But that's a good point. Tarek, not sure if he is still in the hospital. I did, Norma. Yes. Brenda, Jonathan, why didn't they report it before this? Because that makes me so mad, because how these kids fell through the cracks. Without a doubt, Brenda. Good point. Tarek, L1, nor sure what his health probably was. Yeah, they didn't talk about what it was, but it was the doctors that said he had some serious medical issues, and that's why the county in the town and in that area would go bankrupt if they tried to put him in detention, like arrest him and keep him there. Then they would be responsible for paying the bill, and they said that would bankrupt, the county, the town. Tarek, I heard he fell. He did fall. Maybe not sure why. They said he fell going to court, and that's when they went ahead and took him to the hospital, and that's when the doctors diagnosed him with having some serious illness. Jonathan, Brenda, you know that they did this at another house too, where the kids went to school. Tarek, okay, thank you. Oleg, Didi, I will send you some info so you don't go there without nothing to look for. Thank you so much, Oleg. Appreciate that. Because I am planning to go this Saturday. God willing, everything goes right. No problem, Tarek. I could be wrong about that. Norma, 1985. If that cousin was so worried, why didn't she come forward? This what I couldn't understand. Very well said, Norma. Very well said. Tarek, Norma, why didn't any of the relatives come forward? Very true. Good point, Tarek. April, grandparents looked well fed and clean. I think it's the opposite. They were the abusers, in my opinion, for what I have read. That's a good point, April. I think when they got their, for a better lack of words, EBT benefits, they used it for them, precisely them. If they had anything left over, they may have given it, or helped out buying a couple cans here and there. But I believe they were going to take care of number one, which is themselves. And yeah, that's pretty sickening in my opinion, without a doubt. Well said, April. They all lived the same. Norma, yes, 1985, he did fall. Norma, I think they knew, suspected, and in that's the most as bad as what these people did. Yes. Well said, Al. Thank you, Norma. Norma, yes, 1985, agreed. You are welcome, 1985. If you see something, say something. That is the motto, everybody, especially when it comes to the elderly and kids. You see something, say something, because they can't fend for themselves, without a doubt. Please don't forget to hit the likes and share the channel if you haven't. Subscribe if you like the channel. Be a Devil Pup investigator and be a member. Help out the channel grow, because that's the only way we're going to become more smarter, by hearing everybody's opinion. Everybody's opinion. Because you matter. You do matter. Any maybe lice. Yeah, that's what they had said before. Carol, there is a memo for Devil Dog. Thank you so much, Carol. Appreciate you posting that. Amazon wish list. Yes, we still need some items there, everybody. Just letting you know. Thank you, Carol, says Norma. Oleg, I heard today it was for stolen goods. I don't think so. I don't think it was a stolen goods. You're talking about the warrant? The warrant that was issued, if I'm not mistaken, was because it was for indecent exposure on 4 straight consecutive days. Not sure what that 4 consecutive days mean, other than maybe he did this continuously outside. But obviously someone saw him to report him. Brenda, my kids ate before me. Don't care how little food we had. Absolutely, Brenda. Carol, well said. Carol, you welcome Norma. Norma, Carol. Amen, Brenda. And now my grandkids. Amen. Well said, Carol. Annie, my dog will eat before me. Well said, Annie. Norma, yes. Brenda, agree. Brenda, I don't care if we had cereal and no milk. There did eat. It with powder milk or water. Amen, Brenda. Amen. Norma, hospital. L, right, Brenda. You make it work and do the best you can with what you have. Well said, L. Well said. Norma, he's still in the hospital. Okay, he's still in the hospital. I was wondering why you said in the hospital, Norma. Good deal. Thank you. So the grandfather or senior, Gary Sider Sr., is still in the hospital. Carol says, Brenda, yes, whatever it takes. Oleg, sorry, I kept putting the wrong words. You're good, Oleg. L, Norma, grandfather is. Oleg, maybe the smell when they opened the door raised an alarm. Very possible. God only knows what it smelled like. They said they couldn't get that smell out of their system for a long time. Chris, all he does is say, do this, do that. I will just watch you. It's terrible. He tried to have me get him milk the other night. Nice try, Chris. Nice try. It was the wife who got me the milk with the pancakes, and everybody knows it. Hell, okay. Thank you, Norma. Norma, you're welcome. Marianne, Chris thought that was a shibby, laughing out loud. Annie, I don't feel sorry for them, just the kids. Those grown people, out of one of them, someone had half a brain and knew none of this was right and was going on. I totally agree with that, Annie, 100%. Carol, Chris, Norma, yes, DD, you are absolutely right. Barney, he has either of the Gary's middle names been published? Oh gosh, that's a good question. I'm not sure. I'd have to look at that. That's a good question. I'm not sure, to be honest with you, Barney. That's a good question. Tarek, Annie agreed. Marianne, Carol, did you notice it's never Chris's fault? L, Chris, Annie, thank you, Tarek. Tarek, so are the grandparents his parents or her parents? I think the granddad is her parents, and the grandmother is the stepmom. Do I have that right, everybody? Not sure. I think. Norma, Annie, you are absolutely right. Well said. Tarek, you welcome Annie. Annie, thank you, Norma. Norma, Tarek, yes. Norma, you're welcome, Annie. Tarek, thank you, Norma. Norma, you're welcome, Tarek. Oleg, Elizabeth apparently spoke with her mother and said she had a lot of babies and it was not making sense. It was all garbled. The mother reported to Ellie and they never checked it out from her mother's FN. Interesting. Very interesting. Barney, do not quote me. I am researching, but the cutoff I found that Gary Sr. was raised at his grandparents. Okay, Annie, maybe the old lady went related, so she didn't care, but she still lived in that squalor. Without a doubt, Annie, without a doubt. Well said. Norma, Oleg, thank you for sharing this information. Didn't know this either. L, thank you for that bit, Barney. Annie, the old lady wasn't related to them, so she maybe didn't care. Very good point, Annie. Oleg, Norma, I can't confirm this last bit yet, but the mother's friend was very upset about it. Tarek, with 16 kids, they could have went to food banks or other sources of food. It's very true, Tarek. Very well said. Norma, the man's smell was coming from the basement. Makes me wonder if they kept the kids there. That or if they kept, I hate to say it, but unalived animals down there. You know? Tarek, I think that initially did not feed the kids. Tarek, they were options. They were options. Absolutely. Usually are. Barney, Gary Lee Sr., Gary Lee Jr., there you go. The Lee was their middle name. Tarek, L1, especially with 16 kids, the county would have helped. Norma, Tarek, they could have, or but probably would have to give them information. Very true. It all comes back to that information, in my opinion. Too many people would know, and then too many questions would be asked. And then you would have maybe, church members or preachers or pastors or whatnot going to the house, bringing, food, a food basket or something. And that's probably what they didn't want. Just a thought. Tarek, you are right. L, there was a room with a couple of mattresses that were, I thought that may have been stained, but that could have been mom and dad staying in there. Hard to know. Norma, oh yes, that makes sense. Oleg, Gary Siders, SN is the father of Gary Jr. and Christina is the stepmother of Gary Jr. That makes sense. L, yes, Tarek and Norma, I agree. Norma, thank you so much for that, Oleg. Norma, okay, Oleg, thank you. Chris, it's always my fault. He threatens that if I do not wise up, he will tase me. Stop it, Chris. They know your stick. Stop. Oleg, the kids had meat. They had deer meat. Tarek, DD, did any of the teachers come forward? I don't think any of the teachers really, I don't think they went to school. I know Doug said they went maybe a little bit, but maybe when they only had like one or two kids, but when they started popping them out like God knows what, my God, yeah, very, very true. I don't think anybody really knew. Carol, oh my God, Chris, 30,000 votes coming my way. Andy, what about the kids that died? Where did they go? Interesting, good question. Chris, so far it has been the nice. I do have my nightstick still, but it's more of what they call it a collapsible ASP. Oh Lord. April, Oleg, is all this information available? Just curious because I have not seen it and appreciate it. Well said, no doubt about it. Annie, Tarek, they said that early. Oleg, Cat, Annie only found the reg the unalivings of the one set of twins pics on the grave. Interesting. Annie, I hope they check the property, in my opinion. Tarek, Annie, wow, that's terrible. Marianne, Chris, Norma, that's right, DD, because they would put them in the system all on all the food banks. Absolutely. Chris, Lord have mercy. Annie, Oleg, okay, I wondered. Annie, me too, Oleg, April. It's all public. You just have to search for it. I am planning on putting it all together at some point to share. Thank you, Oleg. Appreciate that. Chris, every show I have to put on the riot gear. All done now. All done now, says Chris. Oleg registered. Norma, oh my God, Elizabeth has had more children than my miniature mare. Oh Lord, April. Okay, Oleg, thank you so much. Everybody, thank you so much. Appreciate you all. Like I said, man, this is a very interesting case. I'll probably be going down there Saturday to go ahead and do this. Um, yeah, so it's going to be interesting. I just hope I get a reception because I know that area is like there's nothing out there. It's just a small little 800 population little, if you blink your eye, you passed it type of deal. And we have a lot of them out here back in, literally in the country areas. Did you see what she is asking? She is demanding to see all. Yeah, absolutely, Chris. She is demanding to see all kids, but that's the whole point on why her attorney is trying to get her OR'd without any bond and that they would follow any stipulations the court has. But I'm not sure they're going to allow that because I'm not sure that they can allow that. What I mean by that, not that they can allow it, but it would send the missed message as why they went in there to take those kids for their safety reasons, for their health reasons. So giving them back to the mother, it would kind of defeat the purpose of the message that you're trying to send, is what I mean. Not legally that they can't. They can do, the judge can do whatever. But I'm saying, reality, that would defeat the purpose of why you took those kids for their safety because of lack of safety, in my opinion. Jonathan says, Dee, where are you going to? I think I'm going to go to Vinton County in Ohio to see the house of where these kids were and kind of take a look at the surroundings, maybe do a walkthrough video, live video with you all and kind of show you what's really all around there so you can get a better look. And just do a live there just for myself to get myself acclimated to what it really is like to be out there, because I've seen pictures and pictures only do so much justice. But when you're out there looking at it and you are out there walking, when you go into the perspective of law enforcement, I want to see what would have jumped out at me to make me think something like, oh my God, like, how can anybody have lived there? Or, oh my God, like, how can nobody have seen something? You know what I mean? That type of thing. So that's where I'm going, Jonathan. Carol, have a great and blessed night, everyone. Chris, they will not let her see them anytime soon, or ever. But that's no doubt in my opinion, Chris. I agree with you. AJ, good evening, everyone. You too, AJ. Good evening. L. So may never see her kids again, in my opinion. Maybe not altogether. That's for sure. Most likely, in my opinion. Norma, have a beautiful, blessed evening, everyone. Great conversation and evening. See you all in the morning. Be ready because we are going to talk about what Patriot Pride, Chris, Melanie, and all the others who put this thing together, how it fits and what it's really all about. Come with your A game, Chris. I want to see it. Oleg, one thing I have noticed is the whole family tree a lot unalive before they reach 60. Interesting. Maybe just poor health. Maybe not taking care of maybe not eating the right foods for all their lives. Who knows? I mean, that's a good point. Norma, have a blessed day, evening, AJ. AJ, thank you, Norma. You too. Oleg, DD, look for the mobile home parks. That's where they all are. I will do that. I mean, it's a small town, so I should be able to go through that whole little community. But I just hope I'm able to get a signal. That's going to be my only thing. Annie, the sad thing is those kids that's all they knew. So they probably wonder what happened to them. Because all they knew was them. It's shame. Sick bunch of rats, can't even call them people. Very well said, Annie. Very well said. Jonathan, Didi, they are waiting on the DNA to come back from Texas. Send me that information if you can, Jonathan. I would really like to have that information if you could send it to me. If one of the mods could put the email on, I would like to read more about that. Send me that information if you could. I appreciate it, Jonathan. And thank you for being here, my friend. Chris, hello, AJ. Al, hope to stay awake to see Patriot Pride tonight and see you all there laughing out loud. I didn't get my nap today. I wanted to take. Thanks to the washing machine. AJ, hi, Chris, April, the Whitakers all over again. Hey, they used to have their own channel, the Whitakers, and I know who you're talking about because I even watched them when I was up in working in the oil fields at one time, and when I worked out in PA, I used to watch the Whitakers. That was interesting, no doubt about it. Wow, that was interesting. I'll just leave it at that. If you haven't watched that, you need to watch the Whitakers without a doubt. Very similar. April, exactly what I keep thinking of when I read about it. Oleg scolded me. I keep doing it. Devil pup. Scolded me. I keep doing it. Stop it, Oleg. Devil pup. Chris is rubbing off on you. Tarek, I hope the kids get good homes, without a doubt. Hey, DD, do not let your wife read my chat. Sorry. Last one is the truth this time. You got it, my friend. You got it. L, there's the email. Thank you, L. Appreciate that. So if you want to send that, Jonathan, at the very bottom, L, just put my email up there. You can go ahead and send me that info. I'd love to look at it. There's a couple else that I'm looking at as well, and maybe we'll be able to cover that. But tonight, it's all about Chris, Patriot Pride, and his minions to see what they have found. What is the secret that they have been keeping from us? We look forward to seeing that, Chris. Good luck, my friend. See you all in the morning at 9 a.m. Just want to tell you all, thank you so much for everything. Thank you for supporting the channel. Thank you for keeping this a very respectful channel. And understand that when there's a lot of talking in the channel about different things that doesn't pertain to what I am talking about, I'm really not going to read. If I can help it, I'm not going to waste time reading things that do not pertain to what we're talking about. When we come to a point where we're able to go ahead and we're done and we want to have a little chit chat, that's fine. But if it's something that's not important, I am not going to get into it. Okay. So I just want you all to know that. April, have a good night, everyone, says Al. April, Oleg, who's scolding you, says April. Oleg says, Miss Barney, are you an ancestry? Doug says, good night, Maz and Pups and DD. Of course, thank you so much, Doug. Appreciate everything you bring to the table, my friend. Tarek, have a good night. Chris, then I better stop chatting then. Tarek, thank you, DD. You very welcome. Annie, Oleg, what nerve. I can't stand them. L, you think, Tarek? Oleg, April, I need scolding as I keep writing the wrong words. It should be unaligned. Nonsense. Barney, Oleg, I never use just one resource. Thank you, everybody. God bless. We'll figure it out. We'll always figure it out because it's all common sense, everybody. And you all have common sense. We'll always figure it out one way or the other. God bless you. Semper Fi, everybody. See you tomorrow at 9 a.m. And if you go on live tonight, remember 10 o'clock p.m. Eastern time. Let's give Chris some support. See you all later. Semper Fi, everybody.